Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Frankie and I'm doing something a little bit different today. Welcome to this review of the Atari 2600 game, Frontline. I was given the task as an assignment to review a game in an online emulator for one of my classes that contained the first letter of my first name and one of my last name. Those letters being F and L, I decided to go with Frontline. Frontline is a military-themed run-and-gun shooter game released by Taito for arcades in 1982. It was one of the first video games to feature a ground combat theme and grenades, a persecutor to many similarly themed games of the mid to late 1980s. This game was released in 1982 of November and would become a nice addition to the selection of games available on the Atari 2600. This game was designed by Tetsuya Sasaki, who would also go on to design other games such as Project Horned Owl 1995 and Karma, Curse of the 12 Caves 1996. This run-and-gun game's main objective is to run into enemy territory and knock out any enemy tanks and soldiers that might appear on the screen as you run through a forest and into the line of fire, where ultimately you will attack the enemy fortress. As you go through the levels in this game, each round will bring on a more challenging army and tricky terrain that could ruin your overall goal of reaching the end of each round. This game has 4 difficulty skills and can be played at 1 or 2 players. You typically would use a joystick to move your soldier and a button to shoot in the direction you are facing towards soldiers or tanks. You will shoot what I assume are bullets to your enemy soldiers and rockets towards the tanks. You also have the opportunity to jump into a tank if you find one in the enemy zone and use it to your advantage at taking out enemy soldiers or other enemy tanks. The tanks that you can jump into are either blue or purple squares that you will just walk into in order to enter them. You must be careful because the terrain can alter how you move in the game or get in the way of your shots as you attack the enemy. You can also leave the tank when you choose. If your tank is attacked, it will shake and you will have a few seconds to quickly leave that tank so that you do not explode with it. You start the game with 5 lives and get an extra life when you complete each round, but only get a maximum amount of lives of 5 in total. I'm not sure if there's anything I do not like about this game. If I were growing up in the 1980s and had the opportunity to play this game as one of my earliest games played, I am sure I would have loved it. I do love shooter games, and this is something that I definitely would have fell in love with as a child. It is easy to now critique games much later, after they've been released, especially if you are like me and have played a ton of games and a wide variety of them. I like that the controls were easy to use and are user-friendly. This game was unique because there were not many shooter games available at the time, and this was one of the more violent games, if you want to call it that, at the time of its release. I would give it an 8 out of 10 if I was rating this game. I am obviously biased as I don't have much fun playing games older than myself than I do playing games that came out in my lifetime. For the rest of the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my first reaction to playing this game before I went ahead and made this script for my assignment. You will go ahead and see my genuine reaction and first playthrough of the level that I played. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.